Lesson 6.1 is about patterns and sequences. A number sequence is a pattern of numbers arranged in a particular order according to some rule. To get from one number to another, you have to follow the same rule each time. So 6, 9, 12, 15, that would be a finite sequence with exactly 4 members. The first term is 6, second term is 9, third term is 12, fourth term is 15. 6, 9, 12, 15 with 3 dots is called an infinite sequence, and that continues on forever. So this just keeps going on and on. Each individual member or number or element of the sequence is called a term. So I would say that the 6 is the first term of the sequence, the 9 is the second term of the sequence. We usually refer to each term by its position. When referring, we use U sub n. So if I want to say first term, I'll use U sub 1, which would be equal to 6. If I wanted to say the second term, I'd use U sub 9, which would be equal to, or U sub 2, which would be equal to 9. The third term is U sub 3 is equal to 12, and so on down the line. The rules that determine the elements of the sequence can be written in a couple of different ways. One is called a recursive formula, and that's where it just tells you how you get from one term from the term before it. So in that previous example, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on, we'd write that U sub n plus 1 is U sub n with 3 added to it. So if I'm looking for the fourth term, then U sub n plus 1 would be 3 plus 1, and so this would be the third term, which is 12, and 12 plus 3 is 15, so U sub 4 is U sub 3 plus 3. So if I'm looking for U sub 5, the next one, U sub 5 would be U sub 4 plus 3, so 18 would be my next term. When using a recursive formula, though, you've got to be given both the rule and some term in the sequence to use as a starting point. So if it says write the first 5 terms of this sequence to find U sub 1 is 3, and U sub n plus 1 then is 2 times U sub n. So if U sub 1 is 3, U sub n plus 1, so that is U sub 2, is going to be 2 times sub 1, so that's going to be 6. And so my third term is the second term plus 1, so U sub 3 is going to be 6 times 2, which is 12. And if I wanted to go to the fourth one, I would be 12 times 2 is 24, and my fifth term is 24 times 2, which is 48. So notice, each term is 2 times the previous term. Write a cursive formula for each of these sequences. So I've got 2, 6, 18, 54. So I know that my U sub 1 is equal to 2. And I look and see what's happening. It looks to me like it's been multiplied times 3. So U sub n plus 1 is going to be U sub n multiplied times 3. So 3 U sub n. In this one, I've got 4, 9, 14, 19, 24. Doesn't look like it's multiplying. It looks to me like it's been added each time. So U sub 1 is 4, and that makes U sub n plus 1 equal to U sub n, the previous term, plus 5, because we're adding 5 each time. So here's a couple for you to try. Remember, pause the video, try them, and then check back to see how you did. So if I want the first 4 terms of the sequence defined as U sub 1 is equal to 8, so 8's the first term. U sub 2 is U sub 1 times 1/2, so that'll be 4. And the next one will be half of that is 2, and the next one is half of that is 1, so there are my 4 terms. Write a recursive formula for this sequence. So U sub 1 is equal to 5, and U sub n plus 1, the next term, let's see what happened here. It looks like that for this one, 6 was added, but 6 added there doesn't get it. And if I multiply by 2 and added 1, I would get 11. If I multiply 11 by 2, that's 22 plus 1. This would be 46 plus 1, so that's what I've got. I've got 2 times u sub n, 2 times the previous one, with 1 added to it. Sometimes it's a little hard to figure them out. You just have to play with them some, unless they follow a particular type of pattern. But sometimes you just have to play with it. Another way that we can write a rule for a sequence is to write what's called a deductive rule, sometimes referred to as a general formula for the nth term. In this way, you don't have to know the term before it. You just have to know what term it is you're looking for. So in this sequence, 6, 9, 12, 15, actually the deductive rule turns out to be u sub n is 3n plus 1. So if I'm looking for the first term, that's 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is actually 6. The second term is 3 times 2, which is 6 plus 3 is 9. The fourth term is 3 times 4 is 12 plus 3 is 15. So that works for me. It's based not on the term before it, but on what number term it is in the series. So for this sequence, we could write the deductive formula u sub n is equal to 5 times n, because 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 is the fourth term. So notice that the value is determined by its position rather than the value of the previous term. Write the first 5 terms of this one. Well, u sub 1, 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, 3 cubed is 27, 4 cubed is 64, and 5 cubed is 125. So there's the first 5 terms of that series. Write a general formula for the nth term of each sequence. So I'm wanting u sub n. So now we're going to have to think about this one a little bit. This 5 from 1 could be 5 times 1, but 5 times 2 does not give me 6. Or it could be 4 plus 1, and then 4 plus 2, and then 4 plus 3, but so it looks like it is 4 plus n. So whatever n is, the fourth term is 8, that is 4 plus 4. The third term is 7, that is 4 plus 3. So that worked. We added 4 each time. What about this one? Oh, this one looks pretty easy. This is 5 times 1, and that's 5 times 2, so that is 5 times n. So here's a couple for you to try. Write down the first 5 terms of each sequence that I give you. Remember, stop the video, work it, and then start the video back up to see if you got it right. First 5 terms, 1 over 2n. Well, the first term is 1 over 2 times 1. Second term is 1 over 2 times 2. Third term is 1 over 2 times 3. The fourth term is 1 over 2 times 4. And the fifth term is 1 over 2 times 5, which is 1/10. So there is each of my first 5 terms. U the 2n plus 3, so 2 times 1 plus 3 is 5, 2 times 2 plus 3 is 7, 2 times 3 plus 3 is 9, 2 times 4 plus 3 is 11, and 2 times 5 plus 3 is 13. So those are not too difficult. Just follow the rule. Write a general formula for the nth term here. This looks like that u to the n is just n multiplied times 7. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2, 7 times 3, that gives them to me. Additional homework is to read these pages, and we will work the problems in class tomorrow.